February air, a winter's harsh. A different kind of love, a sacred rush. Before the roses is all the fleeting glance. Before the scales and a fighting chance. We're the phoenix nesters watching from the wire. Seeing shadows fall, fueling the fire. Every story buried, every silent tear. Here comes a promise whispered, conquering the fear. Oh, Lady Justice, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. We're turning the pages, breaking all the locks. This is our true crime, resetting all the clocks. They sold you a story, a neatly packaged lie. But the threads are unraveling under a watchful sky. From the cold case files to the digital trace, we're finding a heartbeat in this forgotten space. Oh, Lady Taro space. Can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. Return the pages, breaking all the locks. This is a true crime, resetting all the clocks. From the ashes of silence, a new day is born. For every lost soul, a promise is sworn. The blindfold is lifting, steady and slow. A garden of justice is starting to grow. A shift to arise, pure justice. A shift to rise, a Lady Justice.
Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
It's all fair game. Welcome, every single one of you. Good morning, beautiful people out there. I'll tell you, it never gets boring in this case of the IDAHO4. So I'm going to keep talking about it until we get to some agreement. As a community, that we have exhausted every single angle. We get some type of answers. What do y'all agree? If you agree, put a 1 in the chat this morning. It is going to be a wild ride because if you haven't seen it, is it all connected? Is it all connected? Boy, we've heard rumors, we've heard stories. We are ready to go at it this morning. If you have never been to one of my streams, good morning, I'm Phoenix. I am your host at Phoenix Talks Today. And here, this community shows up for one reason: to find the truth. We challenge the narratives that we've been sold on mainstream media, that no one's buying. We're keeping our cash, we're holding it back, and we're demanding clarity and never stop asking questions. If that sounds like you, welcome in and thank you for being part of this mission. Hit the thumbs up button. My mods are in the freaking house. And I'm excited to be here. Another Monday morning, another Mod Monday. Anything you donate today will be going directly to our mods, and I greatly appreciate it. We are going to have our February drawing for the $50 Amazon card because you know what? Time is money, and you are investing your time listening to our stream. This is our stream. My mods, if they weren't here, I wouldn't have a stream, guys, because we make it a safe place for every single one of you. So, good morning, Monday Madness. Yep, I saved this one for today because we are going to find some truth. I mean, think about it. We talked about scrubbed and hidden and vanished. We saw what was hidden yesterday. We saw what was scrubbed, but we didn't get to talk so much about what vanished or who vanished in this case. And we're starting it off with Officer Rosendahl. Now, remember, we're not here to chase rumors. We're not naming innocent people. We're not creating villains. We're simply asking questions. Why does this case feel scrubbed, hidden, or vanished? Is it all connected? Yeah, we're here. We're doing it. We're going to be on it. Okay? So now that Valentine's is gone, now that Super Bowl is gone, now we have the winter cold and all the news going on. We've got issues in Mexico happening in real time. When my friend messaged me yesterday, I just about dropped my drawers and was like, holy moly, I cannot believe this. Of course, she was frantic. I calmed her down, stay inside, buckle up, Buttercup, and make sure you have some at least flour and sourdough starter going. Because if you got to eat bread for 30 days, good luck. It's going to be tough down there. Hopefully, it'll get a little cooler before it gets hotter out there with the sea gang, if you know what I mean, and you know, you know. Now, I know this whole thing between Putin and Zelensky and all this stuff going on. And now you've got other people saying, oh my God, it's WW3 coming in the next 2 days. Take a deep breath. Take a massive, mindful, deep breath. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all okay. Remember, you can't stop what's meant to be. You just have to embrace it. And sometimes change is good. So we've talked about cold. We talked about Valentine's Day. We talked about Super Bowl. We talked about the red flags on the radar. How is everybody feeling today? Are you ready to go at it and get into this? Good morning, Caleb. Good morning. Yes, Mod Monday. I am so happy for all of you. Peony, good morning. Lulu Bell, good morning. Yes, we have the trendiest mod squad in the world, and I love them. Donna Rosa, good evening, good morning, wherever you're at. Patty, good afternoon. True to it, perfect timing. I need this interesting group. I think we have a nice little small community, and I'm good with that. I don't have to have thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of viewers. I think smaller is good strategy, especially when you need to embrace your community. And I'm glad we have a safe online community. Good morning, Legal Swag. Good morning, everyone. Lola Garcia. Hello. Hola. I think you're down in Mexico, aren't you? Thanks for tuning in. I know we've talked in the past before. Hello, everyone. Miss Anonymous. I'm Snow with no power. Well, I pray that you find heat, electricity, and this is why I could put a plug in here for solar power. I could say a small little Lion technology, which we traveled and took camping and glamping, whatever. I'm a camper glamper, and hopefully if you got something small. I had one of those little power inverters, and I could heat up a hot plate. Of course, our generator, my husband is very nifty, so you guys, you have to be prepared for anything out there in this day and age we live in. Susie, good afternoon. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Jill. Inked Mama. You guys are so faithful. I am so thankful for this community. I don't work full time, but I am busy full time. And I know many of you know that I struggle with autoimmune issues. So I appreciate every single one of you here. I really do. You guys have time to invest, and we are all emotionally, logically invested in this case. Misinformation, I think it's all been connected. Maybe two motives, but the chances of two double murders happening at the same time without coordination seems very unlikely. So at least coordinated. Well, remember the video I showed you of the gentleman that we all thought was Brian Koberger, but I pointed out it wasn't? Said he was close to the investigation in the case. He couldn't say what family member it was, but he kept saying two victims, two victims, two victims. He never said four victims. And after I saw what I believe and what many believe to be Kayla walking up the steps at 1122, I think your comment has got me going, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. Ironically, two random events happening on one night. Now, I don't know if you've seen the movie Age of Adeline, right? I think it's a made up story, but two massive major events on the same night. Could that possibly be? It's like lightning striking twice. And yes, it does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but that just gives me fireball energy, guys. When I think, could these two separate incidents happen on the same night? I believe it could happen, possibly. But then I also think, and honestly, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking there's no freaking way. Unless this was all planned by their friends, alleged friends. That's my humble opinion. I'm sticking to it, and we're not defaming or slandering. We're just giving our own logical opinions. You guys can drop your own opinions. Freedom of speech. Speaking of freedom of speech, I had somebody leave this comment for me, and I just have to share it because comments like these get me fired up to find and share more. So keep these comments coming, guys. I appreciate you. They said, let me add it up to the stage. I love it. I love this. Give me 1 second. Didn't want to add. Why not? Let's see if it's working again. All right, here it is. This was just a couple hours ago. Why do people think they're entitled to know about someone else's tragedy? The case is over. Let the victims rest in peace. I think it's supposed to be PEACE. And the families and anyone else involved in the case to heal. How do you feel if this tragedy was yours? Show some decency and respect. And here was my reply. I just speak it as it is. This is a cold case. BK is factually innocent, so we can talk about whatever we want. Free speech, First Amendment right. Study up. Study up, Buttercup. That's my response to you because I know you're watching. I know you're listening. I know you are saying whatever you want. That's a troll AI bot. Well, it's got a picture of a woman and her daughter, and I probably would say, please don't post your children on the internet. And I would also say Miss Bell Smith 9310 may be a bot, but I don't care. I'm going to respond the way I feel I need to respond. There is plenty to talk about in this case. And if this was my tragedy, I would be shouting from the rooftops. I would have an attorney. I would be fighting for my daughter for justice. That's what I would be doing. And I would definitely be looking into all of these videos, every single YouTuber stream, not just the ones that support you, but every single stream. Why? I don't remember hearing any of the victims in the e-files stand up and scream loud enough for those individuals who were harmed. I don't see it. I don't see any of those family members stand behind their loved ones. And why is that? Are we like a society where we just don't stand up for one another anymore? I mean, if you see something wrongdoing in the community, at the store, do you stand up for and help people, or do you just walk away? I personally, I've shared this story before. I was going into Walmart and there was a woman with a little child, and this woman, the child was unhappy, obviously. Maybe they didn't get what they wanted. Maybe they needed help. I don't know. But this woman turned around and literally smacked the heck out of this 3-year-old looking child. And I stood there and I looked at this woman. I must have looked at her like death warmed over, but I looked at her and I said, how dare you harm your child like that? And I hope to God she still remembers me to this day. And I hope that she never slapped that child again. Do I know? No. But I can only imagine how that little girl felt. That was not a swat on the butt. That was a hardcore slap in the face. It's terrible. I would only hate to see what happens at home, let alone in public. Now, before we get into it, is this all connected? Drop a 1 if you think this is all connected, because we're going to watch a short video and we're going to look. Yeah, I'm not the spelling police, but I just thought that was weird when piece, she wants a piece of my mind. I'll give her a piece. This guy is amazing. If you've not listened to him or followed him or seen him before, this guy is truly amazing. I want to watch this video real quick on this update with Nancy Guthrie, because a lot of people need to be woken up. I made a video this morning on TikTok. I don't know if you have seen it. I'm going to share it with you too. Because you know what? I have released such a heavy burden on my heart this morning. It feels freaking good. It feels good. You know, I can't explain how good this feels, because this is a burden that I've carried around for a very, very long time. It's a short video, no more than like 16 seconds. Here it is. At 26 style. POV, get ready with me 2026 style. I put, it's a struggle to wake people up. If you know, you know. And I'm telling you, today I'm releasing this burden. Join me if you're ready. Be well. Okay. POV. So that was ready with me 20. That was my little PSA of the day. If you know, you know. I am so tired. I am not going to try to wake anyone up. If you guys are ready to wake up and come on the journey, let's go. I am ready up for that. But let me show you guys. I showed you NamUs. I showed you why the sheriff is being very quiet. These people need to go freaking home. If you want me to get really, I mean, just downright scenic, spicy out and crash out, these mother effers need to go home. They are impeding an investigation. They are making it worse for the local officials, not just the police, but the planning and zoning, for public safety, for these neighbors. These idiots need to pack up their bags and go freaking home. They are grifters, 100, 1,000%. Why? Because they're not sharing the truth. They are sharing what? Sensationalism and entertainment. And this is a dangerous, slippery slope.
So that's what's frustrating.
In my humble opinion, why?
Questioning the sheriff.
These people know.
Yeah, because he's not well liked. There's a lot of politics.
They have to know.
So
and same with Tucson police.
That Nancy Guthrie may no longer be with us. They have to know this. but yet they're eating this up, taking advantage of innocent citizens online.
Yeah, and so
And they
I don't know
keep
if you showed
doing
the
it.
trailer, but it's like nothing confirmed.
What is the real mission they're trying to accomplish? The sheriff's
It's
getting
some
pissed
sort
off
of-
at these guys to where they're going to block these roads and hopefully throw everybody out of there. Can they do that? Probably not. But the sheriff has already limited people from searching without a permit. If you don't have a permit, you're out of there. They know what these people are doing. The sheriff knows what these people are doing, and they've about had enough. They're going to find a way to get rid of these people in there. It's about money. It absolutely is. They're trying to make the sheriff look bad. They're trying to put him on the hot seat. Who pays these people to do this?
I posted on my page.
Who does this?
About the Holly Dasso.
Anyways, without her medication, I don't know how she wouldn't make it. Well, some people were saying that her medication was in her post box, her mailbox right there.
Yeah.
I don't know, but these people need to go home and stop interfering with an open investigation. Open investigation. This is dangerous for not just the community, but for individuals. Now, I'm going to share this with you. This guy is amazing. I shared with him the other day, and then we'll get into the IDAHO4. Let me take
connection to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. I told you yesterday, someone in the Grand Junction, Colorado area was searching Nancy Guthrie address before her abduction. Well, today I've got specific dates, more data, and I'll tell you right now, it gave me chills when I saw it. Those Grand Junction searches didn't just happen the day before Nancy vanished. They date back weeks. Digital records show searches for Nancy Guthrie address on January 5th and January 17th of 2026. But it goes even deeper. Search log shows someone in the Grand Junction area searched for images of Nancy Guthrie as far back as December 19th, 2025, again on New Year's Day, and then again on January 23rd. That's nearly 6 weeks of activity before she ever went missing. Think about this. If you wanted to abduct or burglarize someone, what would you do? You'd look them up. You'd want to know what they look like. You'd keep searching to see if there are new pictures of them, right? And the fact that this continued right up to a week before the abduction tells me this wasn't random. This was premeditation. And now, thanks to some incredible TikTokers, we've discovered that Grand Junction isn't just relevant to Nancy Guthrie. There's also a new, bizarre, documented tie to Jeffrey Epstein. Just this week, a local news station there revealed Epstein's Western Colorado connections in the Epstein files. In a new set of subpoenaed financial records, Grand Junction is mentioned in multiple money transfers connected to Epstein. 2 checks, both list payable to Wells Fargo Grand Junction right there on the bottom corner. Why Grand Junction? Why that bank? And there's more. According to recovered email exchanges from Epstein's own schedulers, one referenced that Jeffrey was, quote, interested in trips to Grand Junction. We already know Epstein traveled out west often, but this shows he had specific interest in this Colorado town that's not even that big. My question is, does Epstein still have associates in Grand Junction? And who the hell are they? Now, flashback with me to 2019. Virginia Guthrie, one of Epstein's most outspoken accusers, sat down for that haunting, unforgettable interview on NBC's Today Show with Savannah Guthrie. In that interview, Guthrie directly named both Epstein and Prince Andrew as abusers. She blew the lid off that whole circle of abuse for the world to see. Since that interview, Virginia took her own life, leaving Savannah as the lone survivor of the two. So ask yourself, Savannah Guthrie helps expose Epstein and Prince Andrew. And a few years later, her mother, a random 84-year-old Arizona woman, is abducted after weeks of targeted searches from a small town Epstein himself was linked to financially and personally. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. In fact, I usually unravel conspiracies. But when I look at this, the timing, the digital trail, the Grand Junction Epstein connection, I have to ask the tough question. Was this a kidnapping or was it really retaliation? If the intent was to cause Savannah Guthrie maximum pain, to torture her psychologically, that would explain why the ransom letter never led to a proof of life. It would explain why the perps chose January 31st, a day before Savannah was supposed to fly to Milan, Italy to cover the Olympics, one of the biggest gigs of her career. Maybe this wasn't a kidnapping after all. Perhaps it was something far more sinister. This information has been shared, as always, with the FBI. Somebody in Grand Junction knows exactly what happened. And to that person, if you're watching, the clock is ticking. We're closing in. Let's get justice for Nancy Guthrie. I'm back.
Okay, what did y'all think of that? I've got one step further. How do we know this was not a witness extraction process? We don't. This could be anything. If it involves the e-files, then we don't know. It could be something greater. I mean, think about it. If you leverage, I'm sure we've all seen the movie Taken. If you leverage something against someone, you're going to be able to get the outcome you want. How do we know that someone didn't go there and remove the mother to make the people connected cave? You don't know. We just don't know until we have proof of life. And I think that that is very important for everyone to remember this, because this ties in to the IDAHO4. Now, the video that I showed you yesterday that kind of maybe to me blew up a little bit, it's still going. And I have this clip before we get into the actual. Ignore that. It looks like two people to me. Oh my God, backpacks. And did you guys hear in the Nancy Guthrie case, a independent researcher out there found that backpack? Oh my God, how wild is this? Are they out there planting evidence? I don't think it was real evidence found in the Nancy Guthrie case. The backpack, do you know the one that they found that JLR had for a little bit? Anybody see that? This one. Let me pop it up here on stage. Let me pop it up. This one. It doesn't look like the same, but in the first 5 minutes, Hobby Lobby Shirts Party search and found a backpack in a tunnel. Are they out there planting evidence or are they finding it? Let me cut that music out. This girl was said to find this backpack. And I thought, what? The clip didn't show. I'll go back to it. Said to found this backpack in the Nancy Guthrie case. This is freaking wild. I'll go back to the clip you guys said you didn't see. This is it. Okay, so let me go ahead and finish this one. I'm going to move it forward a little bit. That is in that other case. Absolutely. Okay, so let's watch him. This is a guy up front. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Check out right behind him in slow motion. He's got the black backpack. Say that 20 times. He has the black backpack, and it looks like a female or two are behind him. And I'm going to stop that. It glitches, and you can see her pants are torn. She's in a gray sweatshirt, and it looks like somebody in a black jacket is behind her. And let me see if I can see those type of shoes they're wearing. I can't see the shoes. They look like white shoes to me, but I could be wrong. And I'm going to go back and do a little bit more research on this clip. It glitches and they are removed. So that is vanished, scrubbed. And how about disappeared? People in this case just disappeared, folks. What am I talking about? Well, you remember Officer Rosendahl was at the noise complaint. But if I am correct, which I did my homework this morning, does everybody believe me? Drop a 1 if you believe I do my homework. I'm going to pull up Connor's IDAHO4 series videos, which he has an amazing YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed to him, go and give him a follow right here. I'm going to show you. Give this dude a follow. He deserves it. If you remember this disturbance call, all right, he didn't have this one in his repository. I had to go and look up IDAHO4 complaint calls disturbance. And let me just grab that. It was the one on the back patio. Now, this disturbance call, if you remember, okay, it was on the Law Crime Network. I'm going to mute it out, but I'm going to show you a little bit of this clip. And if you remember, I'm going to spell it out for you because a lot of people said they got lost in my last live, and I hope you guys don't get lost here. Now, if you remember this call, they were called, the Moscow Police Department was called out to this house for a disturbance. And this was in August of 16. This was right when school got back in. And we're going to watch a little bit of this and then I'm going to stop it. He says, I need to talk to a homeowner or a renter.
I'm one. You guys were going to a noise last night, sounds like. Bring you guys around the party last night. You weren't here last night.
Says he's there for the party noise last night. I don't know why they waited, but obviously this is during the day. Noise ordinance probably doesn't take effect. I could understand if they went out there if people were fighting or something, but they're going there for last night's party noise.
We didn't do anything. Is there an Elena Shepherd that lives here? Who's Elena Shepherd? The person that was warned for the noise last night. Yeah. Okay. Well, one thing I will tell you is we didn't do anything last night. No worries. Neighbors are calling in again saying we just did. Okay. You guys do turn it down.
Okay. Then he goes on to say neighbors are calling in to say the noise is loud. Now, I just want to preface this. I don't mean any disrespect, but if you have been following the IDAHO4 case for, I'm having a hard time talking today. If you've been following the IDAHO4 case for quite some time, you will know that every single one of these houses in that community is in fact all student and people that are working renters. They're all renters in that area. 1127, 1119, 1112, 1122, 1118, 1123. They are all renters in this area. So why come to here in the middle of the afternoon when he's probably on call? And I believe 8/16, we looked at that date before, 8/16/2022 was a Tuesday. Yes, folks, it was a Tuesday. 8/16/2022 was a Tuesday. Now, if you start looking at this, he's coming by on a Tuesday afternoon at, 5:23, and he's talking to somebody who may have not been there the day before. I'm just saying this in logical context.
Sounds good. That being said, the tickets get expensive. We got to come back out here, and the music keeps coming up and you keep calling. Understand that? Yeah, we'll definitely turn down.
So he's giving them a warning. Hey, keep it down. It's 5:30 at night. Probably noise ordinance, maybe 8 or 11. I don't know. What time do you think Moscow noise ordinance is? Let me see. And keep in mind, if you've never been to my stream before, we will do live digs. And it looks like the noise complaint for the city of Moscow. Let me see. They do have a permit. You can file a permit if you're going to have a live band, a DJ or something. It allows you to have more leniency. But I look and I see, let me see, Moscow includes noise ordinance, which are designated to regulate, control the noise, health, and safety. For more information, contact the clerk. And this is what it gives me. Chief of police, board, land use, public. I'm sure I'd probably say, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to say like 9 or 10 o'clock, right? Let's just take a lucky guess. I would say probably between 9 and 10 o'clock. 9 is reasonable. 10's pushing it, but it depends on how big of a town they have. So let's just say 10 o'clock, okay? Just for the purposes of this stream. I don't know what it is for sure. So his homeboys are partying.
I mean, probably off, be like very low volume. Okay. Yeah, you can have a party. You can have some music. Just not loud enough for people to phone and say, hey, sounds good. No worries.
Yeah, we should have. I know we were going to go talk to them before. But
yeah, maybe do a lap with your neighbors.
Yeah, we should do that next time.
That's a good idea. Yeah. You live here? I'm
both,
one of them.
Okay. Yeah, we're both.
My name's Elliott, Elliott, and then Lund, Lund.
Now, have you guys noticed anything at all with this body cam footage that's been released? It's a party. Have you noticed anything at all? The guys on the house, there's a couch on the roof that they're sitting watching the whole neighborhood. I used to party too. I mean, 10 o'clock was kind of like noise ordinance at neighborhood parties. Is there anything odd about this footage? Yeah, Rebecca. It's not redacted. Noise. I mean, you can hear them spell out their whole names. It's not redacted. Their faces aren't blurred. You got it.
H. Middle initial? I have 2 middle names. PF. Date of birth for you? 99. Good phone number, I can reach out. My bad. What's the area code on that? Eric. Okay. So it's my number is very similar to my mom's, so I confuse it all the time. Happens to the best. I have hers memorized before.
Happens. I think you guys are lucky. The little lady who lived there was gone now. I think it's a rental property now.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely need to check them.
DEB. I apologize.
This is our first
Sorry about that.
I understand.
DORD.
But you guys obviously know the drill, right?
What's that?
You guys obviously know the drill, right?
Yeah, we got to be smart from now on.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
It would be. It definitely would be.
Okay. So you guys get the gist of it.
And that's the.
So they're walking away from this warning of the call from the day before. And, okay, Gypsy, be careful. Don't run. I would probably drive to your appointment. All right. So then he specifies, listen to him. This is Rosendahl.
When we get here and that stereo's going, I would also go contact them because it was non-specific. Sure. And if I'm warning them, I better go fucking warn them too.
True. And that's the bottom road house there?
Which one? Over here? That one's up on, goes through that driveway. The guy's walking up there.
Oh, yeah.
That side there. Guarantee the stairs are going to come right back on as soon as we leave.
Well, I saw that big, tall JBL on the back patio there, so I'll just go chat with them.
So they obviously saw the big JBL speaker on the back patio. Listen to as they leave.
Make sure it stays down. Thank you. All right. Have a good one.
Take care, guys. Okay, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Good semester. And in some cases, like when we get here and that stereo's going, I would also go contact them because it was non-specific.
Sure.
And if I'm warning them, I better go fucking warn them too.
True. And that's the bottom road house there?
Which one? Over here? That one? That one's up on, goes through that driveway. The guy's walking right there.
Oh, yeah.
That side there. Guarantee the stairs are going to come right back on as soon as we leave.
Well, I saw that big, tall JBL on the back patio there, so I'll just go chat with them.
Okay, I'll come with you.
So he's the one that recommends, okay, the other cop, he says, okay, So normally, if we're going to warn these guys, we need to go warn some other people that if we see something. Rosendahl is the one that says, well, he saw the big JBL stereo on the back porch. So I'm going to go up there and I'm going to warn them. It was his idea to go to 1122 King Road.
You want to walk up or do you want to?
Yeah, we'll walk up. We'll start things off.
Just, it wouldn't be fair. You know, if you're warning these guys, you better warn them.
Yeah, good point.
Moscow
Now, I don't know about you, but I can't hear any music from right here.
11.
I thought maybe the music was coming from where they just left. Now you can start to hear it.
Still on the department channel. Moscow 111. We're clear of 1127 King Road. We're going to be out at 1122 Queen Road. Same problem. Hey guys, can you send someone out who lives here, please?
Did you guys get any dogs to venue last night? Because I'm looking for one with Xander Dash.
Nope. Sorry, you can always call us later and ask in case it gets turned in here. It's our business line.
Sweet, thank you.
You bet.
Who was that guy? Does anybody know?
No one's coming to the door.
Yeah. What the heck? He just walks right up to the back door, folks. It's freaking daylight. He just goes and walks right up to the back sliding door. Like he's been there before, maybe? I'm just curious. Did he ask any of the guys for their IDs? No, he just says, hey, what's your name? He just says, hey, what's your name? Writes down those guys' names. He doesn't ask for their IDs. None of them got their IDs out. And it's freaking daytime. There's no noise ordinance that's going to be given a ticket or a citation for. What the heck is going on? I'm just saying, hey, let's watch the video and let's see what we see, okay? Let's be open-minded. We're not trying to blame anyone or accuse anyone, nothing of that. We're just wondering why some things have been scrubbed, hidden, and people vanished.
Yeah, I took one look at that speaker. I said,
Was the speaker even on? Where did he see this JBL speaker, folks? I didn't see anything. Did you guys see anything on the porch? Where's this JBL speaker that he's talking about? That he saw from the back over there. You could see right down that long little walkway from 1118 all the way to 1127. I didn't see any speaker.
No one's coming to the door.
you knock at the front door and I'll be right back. Yep, thanks, man. Yeah, I took one look at that speaker. I said,
You get a lot of guys trying to argue private property access.
The way I've always done it, and correct me if I'm wrong, was the way I did it there. Find one responsible, have everyone else hold them accountable. If I got to come back here, they're getting the ticket.
Did it where? What does he mean by did it where? Did it where? Okay, so I went digging to see, did it where? Where did he do this? And lo and behold, obviously, here is the Moscow police reports, the annual reports for 2022. During 2022, 6 new police officers were hired to fill vacant positions. There were lateral police officers from other states that were not required to attend the post academy, which is the standard. These officers who are certified in another state can challenge the post academy by completing an online course of instruction and taking the challenge test through the Idaho Post Regional Coordinator. Both officers successfully passed the challenge process. However, one resigned shortly after. 2 officers were hired on as entry-level officers and attended post. 2 officers were hired as entry-level officers but resigned prior to attending the post academy. Wow. So they've had 4 out of 4 officers, only 1 stayed aboard. Officer Nathaniel Rosendahl is one of those new police officers. He grew up in Moscow, where he attended Logos High School and New St. Andrews College. We've talked about that one before. He moved to Bellingham, Washington. He grew up in Moscow, moved to Bellingham, Washington, and eventually went to work for the Bellingham Police Department. Okay, so that's where he came from, where he worked patrol and was a member of the SWAT team. Officer Rosendahl moved back to Moscow, Idaho, to be closer to his family. Now, if we look at this, then we can safely assume he came from Bellingham and he was one of the 4 that took the challenge test and passed. Okay, cool. Good job. So then I went to 2023 and I went to go see in the Moscow Police Department where his name popped up. And it says that they wanted him to, here was a quote from a citizen that says, Officer Rosendahl listened. I was afraid I wouldn't be seen as credible, but instead I was validated and cared for. These are officers that are given a kudos for doing what they do in the community. And then in 2023, he got a Champs Award from the department that included Rookie of the Year, Nate Rosendahl. Cool. And then let's see if his name appears anywhere else in this. Yes, right there. It says he was certified as, hold on a minute, let me see. Basic certificate denotes that the basic patrol within 6 months probation period and graduated from the FTO officer program. Whoop, whoop. All right, cool. That was in 2023. And 2024, they mention Officer of the Year, Nate Rosendahl. Okay. And that is the last year that Moscow Police Department has reported on their annual report. There is no annual report for 2025 as of, what is today? January 23, 2026. There is no 2025. Okay. Keep that in mind with what we're about to finish up here. And mind you, all this music is inside the house. I don't think it's that loud in my humble opinion. That if I had a sleeping kid at 5:30, which probably not, it would be a concern. But remember, everybody in this area is living in Party Central. No stairs to the back deck.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Is this your place?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know over here.
I assume noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big speaker right there.
Yeah.
Nothing against having a party. Once neighbors start calling in, they have an issue.
Fair.
How did he see that speaker from the back slider, guys? Across the street? The sun glare is there.
I assume noise.
Noise, yeah.
Yeah.
Big speaker right there.
Yeah.
Nothing against having a party.
Is that a speaker right there? Is that what he said?
Noise, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Is this your place?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know over here.
I assume noise.
Noise, yeah.
Yeah.
Big speaker right there.
Yeah.
Nothing against having a party. Once neighbors start calling in, they have an issue.
Fair.
You go to school?
Yeah.
Okay. What year?
Senior.
Senior. Okay. So I'll tell you the same thing I told them. You probably know the drill, right?
Actually, no.
Oh, okay. So usually, at least for me, I'll give you a verbal warning.
Okay.
Once I have neighbors calling in, you're just too loud. You're disturbing the peace.
Yeah.
Nothing against having parties. Nothing against having people who are overage to drink.
Mm-hmm.
But again, once we start disturbing the neighbors, then we've got an issue.
Yeah.
Noise ticket is up to 300.
And someone just said that this was the first day that Kaylee moved in. And I believe it was August. I believe that this might be the actual day that this was the first time. A lot of people in this area just moved in. Yeah, Hunter is like right there until he leaves. I wonder why Hunter does leave. I wonder if he feels uncomfortable or something. I don't know. Let's just watch.
Yeah, somewhere around $300, $400.
It's a pretty expensive ticket. I don't want to give that to you. That being said, this is your place, so I'm going to hold you responsible.
They get it more
It's your
expensive
place,
the later
you're
it gets.
also responsible for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna grab
We already
you.
warned them too, so.
And if I do have to come back here, $300 tickets.
Okay.
And it'll get more expensive. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely.
Actually, what's the phone number for you?
Now, he doesn't live here, so he walks away.
Is this 1122 here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if that cop signaled him to go inside. I wonder. No neighbors called. It's just a party community. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hunter knows something about the Moscow police. Maybe. I don't know. But we don't see the other cop's body camera. What if he gave him a signal to go inside? You just don't know.
I'd much rather you spend that $300 on beer or something fun.
Yeah.
Noise
Yeah.
ticket, right?
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. That
On
being said,
beer? Shoot, I'd buy shoes.
warnings. Don't do it again.
Yep.
I'd hate to come back in a few hours and then have to issue it. So,
Yeah.
any questions for me?
No.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Take care.
I want to know what they're saying. Let me see if I can play it slower. I can read lips pretty good. Let's see. I've never really slowed this down. Let me see. Hold on a minute. She says, you know something. I'll have to go back and do it when I have a little bit more time, but I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. They blocked it out. They scrubbed it.
Any questions for me?
No.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Take care.
They scrubbed it. What the heck? Scrub, dub, whatever. What the heck? I'm wondering if this is just part of the... hold on a minute. When was this released? This was on Law and Crime. It was released 3 years ago. 3 years ago, January 11, 2023, right after the unalivings. Okay, so I wonder if it was actually scrubbed. Jeez. Dang it. Okay, so let me go back.
I'd much rather you spend that $300 on beer or something fun than
Yeah,
a noise
yeah.
sticker, right?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. That being said, warnings, don't do it again.
Yep.
I'd hate to come back in a few hours and then have the issue. So,
Yeah.
any questions for me?
No.
All right. Have a great day.
Take care.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but they go back up there, say yada, 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 whatever. You can go back and you can watch this. Let me save this on Law and Crime, and I'll drop it in the stream in case anybody wants to see it. There is the link. Now, who knows what they said, but he knows the layout of the backyard. They also scrubbed the camera above the inside of the sliding door mentioned that years ago. Okay, cool. They had no idea. I did not see a ladder, but someone said that it may have been in the grass area. Now, remember, this was in the summer, and here's my point. This officer is the officer walking around with Rosendahl. Okay? All right?
Was the way I did it there. Find one responsible, have everyone else hold them accountable. If I got to come back here, they're getting the ticket.
There's his buddy he's walking around with. So these two individuals, these two cops, they know the backyard layout. Okay, they know. They just walked right back up there. You saw them do their thing. They talk. This is just a bird's eye view of the camera. And
Speaker right there.
You can see her mouth move a little bit better. And I think I'll probably go back and watch this and see at a later date what they were actually talking about. Know something and thank you. Okay, so here we go. So Rosendahl was on the SWAT team in Bellingham Police Department before he came to Moscow. Now, you know, a lot of people are saying he doesn't work for Moscow Police Department. I can't see anything because the 2025 annual report is not out to even see if he was indeed still on staff. And one thing that I know for sure is that usually you see people professionally in LinkedIn. Can't find him there either. Can't find him on Facebook. There is a very blank profile, if that's his at all. I can't find any family members for him. And this is just so odd. So how does someone just vanish when you have a history of police work, professional and SWAT training? How does someone just disappear off of social media, drop out of sight in a heartbeat? No one has ever said where he is employed. Okay, yeah, it says he was a cop from 2022 to 2024, but that's it. Has anyone have seen any other information about Nathaniel Rosendahl? Drop a 1 below if you've seen any other information on him. And I'll wait to see if anybody drops anything. He was parked at the Whites. Yep. And first, yep, on body cam. I think he was transferred to the Utah Police Department. Okay, so I've heard this rumor. And I have gone down the rabbit hole and still have not seen anywhere, possibly, on any police department, on any SWAT, nowhere. I mean, I've even looked at churches to see if he is like a security with churches. I've looked, because usually, you know, obviously, officers will go into private organizations, private, who keeps trying to reach me? Hold on a minute. Private companies, they'll do security, they'll do, you know, kind of operations things. They will do, you know, security. What is that called? My ex-husband used to do, what is it called? Undercover security. They'll do resource officers. They'll do patrol. They'll do, you know, what is that called? Internal investigations. And I kept saying, this is so weird. He doesn't show up on anybody's radar, folks. I'm telling you, even the private database that I use, which I have authorization for, I cannot share that information, but I can't find him anywhere. So where did Rosendahl ever go to? Where did he go to? It's just really strange. But let me tell you, in these police department reports in MPD, he only shows up in one last report. We've talked about this report before, and his only report in here, I'll pull it up. Oh, Rosie, where'd you go? It shows that he was on duty. Let me share the screen. We know he's on duty because we see it in the body cams that have been released. Legally, he was called to be a witness to testify. He is in court documents. His badge number is there, M177. You can go and see he was on scene. He was writing reports on the 13th and the 14th, assisting units. You never see him in anyone else's body cam. He checks the perimeter again, and then he comes in with another incident number. Okay? So he is visible in reports. And he also is in Jacob Tesdahl, Officer Tesdahl report, showing that he actually was with Tesdahl on rounds around 500 Queen Road. That's all we see of him, period. Now, don't you find that a little suspicious? Because Tesdahl, if you remember, said that he believed they were together the whole entire night, and they leave and they check off a duty at 3:52 a.m. And he even says that he saw this car parked. This is Tesdahl. And then in another report, he says he may have seen victims. Okay? So they leave at 3:52. They clock out, which is an odd time. Odd time. You know, we see them go to the Hayden body cam. They are sent on that call at 3:38. Okay? And then Tesdahl even gets the email saying someone called claiming responsibility for the homicides in March 12, 2023. The caller hung up without providing any information. The number the call originated from was blank. I searched TLO, that is their database, and requested assistance for the FBI looking into the number. No available databases had any information on the identity of the caller. Don't you think that's weird? Tesdahl got an email. I'm sorry. He received an email. Payne got the email from Tesdahl saying there was a call. They hung up. And Tesdahl found the black glove laying in the parking lot, 25 feet away from the front door. The glove was laying palm up. It appeared to be laying in this spot for a couple of days. Remember, he went on canvassing the neighborhood. And that was the only 2 reports from Tesdahl. And his badge was M159. And we go and we look. Oops, hold on. I made a boo-boo. He doesn't even pop up. He says his badge number is 159. So odd. So let me get to my point here. So we see this and he's just vanished. How do people just vanish like this without a trace? How do they get off duty and they go and then the next year he's rookie of the year and then he just vanishes? I can't even find him. That's really odd. Really super odd. And then when you go to the police staff at Moscow, you can't even see anymore who are officers on their list because it only shows the chief of police, captain, captain, captain. That's it. Doesn't show anything else. It won't show any officers' names. It'll show you the fire chief. It'll show you some other people in here, but nothing. Abso-freaking-lutely nothing. So how can people in this case just vanish? I understand people move on, take other jobs. You know, the chief did, a couple of other officers had. But how can somebody just in thin air vanish off the face of this earth and you can't even find them from professional databases that tap into things like people's driving records, credit cards, credit reports, things of that nature? How do people just disappear? You can't disappear without help. You can't. He got a detective job in another county. He's not the one that got, no. Shapeshifters. You guys are freaking wild. We're not a conspiracy. We're looking at real things here, guys. So how do you go from, hey, I'm on body cam almost everywhere. I'm at a massive crime scene. I've done some research during 2 days, the first 2 days of the investigation. And then bam, now I am fallen off the face of the earth, nowhere to be found. Well, let me just tell you, something that I saw in a video made me go, no way. No freaking way. And we are going to watch that right now. Because here's probably 101 standard operating procedures that maybe perhaps you don't tell people the truth. Because we might understand a little bit more what they were trying to hide. And I'm going to add this one and we're going to watch this. I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but I don't know if you have caught this before. Here we go. We're going to watch a little old video with Kayla, one of Kaylee's friends, at the police station, and listen to what she says.
We're just talking with people around the campus community and just gathering information at this point, okay? So before we start, I'm just going to grab some simple information from you.
Yes.
And your middle.
And mind you, her face is blurred.
Perfect. And can you spell your last name for me?
Yeah.
Perfect. And your date of birth?
2002.
2002. Okay. And what is your, and what is the address of that house?
Like the location?
Yeah. What is it?
Yes.
Perfect. And I know I called you, but what is your phone number? Because I don't have it right here off the top of my head.
And then, yeah, I don't live at the anymore. I live at the at the Whites.
Oh, you live at the Whites? Okay, which one?
Kayla lives at the Whites, folks.
I think.
What apartment number?
On the left.
Perfect. Okay. Again, I appreciate you coming in a lot. Did you have any specific relationships with any of the victims? Are you aware of any of the victims?
Yeah, so I was good friends with Xana since I met her freshman year.
Okay.
And then Kaylee also met her freshman year, talked to her during recruitment. She was like one of my close friends.
Okay.
Just because, yeah, in the sorority, like you have like your big and
right.
Yeah. And so she was like best friends with my big, so we always like hung out together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you knew Kaylee and Xana pretty well.
Yeah.
Did you know one of them more better than the other, would you say?
I knew Kaylee.
Kaylee pretty well. Okay. So you guys were friends since about freshman year. Did Kaylee, did she ever hang out or associate with anybody with like violent tendencies or anybody of concern or anything?
No, that's the part that was really confusing when we kind of like read the news, because she usually like stuck to her friend, like her roommates. Like she usually like hung out with like her roommates, like Maddie and everything like that. And if she didn't hang out with them, she would hang out with we call them like the King girls, and they also lived on King Street.
Okay. Are they? So you said? What's your last name? Okay, so that is her last name. Okay.
And then who doesn't live at on King Street, but she's also she hung out with her a lot.
Hung out with Kaylee a lot?
Yeah.
Okay. And now Kaylee, she was correct. She was a part of it.
Yeah, but
okay.
Her best friend Maddie was, and they've been friends for years.
Okay. So Kaylee was, and then Maddie was, and then Xana was. Okay, so
they're basically talking about the big and littles, and obviously there was this name for King Street girls, which you see in the files that have been subpoenaed for anything with this King Street girls email address. I just wanted to fill you in on that because there's a lot of redaction going on.
Oh, and then Ethan was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, the place that they lived at was like, it's considered like a out of house. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So other than those people that they hung out with, do you know, was she ever involved in like doing any illegal substances, like anything that you can think of?
I would probably say just coke probably, but I can't think of like her doing anything else.
Have you actually seen her or heard of her doing that before?
No, but I knew that Xana and yeah, Xana was pretty into it.
Okay.
I would say.
Did you have any follow-up questions on?
So Xana was into coke.
Yeah.
What about Ethan?
I'm not sure about Ethan. I don't know her boyfriend that well.
And these questions, we're not trying to
No, you're totally
make
right.
anyone
Right.
bad. We're just trying to, there's several avenues. Do you know at the house if they were selling drugs, if there was a lot of people that were selling drugs, or was it just kind of you go to a party and you use kind of thing?
I think it was more of like they would like go out, they would do coke, but they weren't selling coke.
Okay. So at the residence, it wasn't known as a drug house or anything like that. They wouldn't keep.
So there you have it. The rumor that this was a drug house hopefully has been put to rest. Not because she's saying this, not because Kayla has said this. Several other people have said this. Parents have said this. The police have said this. Other people have said this. Until someone comes out and said, oh no, man, we were making XYZ amount a month at this house. Here's the ledger. Here's the proof. Here's all our customers. Let's just write it off that is a rumor. Let's debunk that and put that one to rest. I've not seen any federal charges.
Any quantities of coke or Xanax, Adderall, anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did Kaylee ever mention to you or anybody, or did you ever hear from anybody? Did she ever like maybe have a stalker or someone she just maybe it didn't seem like a big deal that she, expressed like a concern that maybe came off like jokingly or anything like that?
No, she never mentioned anything to like any of us. Like especially like anyone like in our apartment or to the girls that live on King Street. We just knew. I mean, I don't know. Like we weren't sure, but I don't know if you guys saw the Twitch stream. That was it. Like
you saw that. What did you see in the Twitch stream?
Just like those two guys.
Did you recognize any of those guys?
We did not, but my friend, she actually went to Grub Truck that night with her friend Grace, and they saw Kaylee and Maddie, and they just kind of said that like those guys were just being like weird, I guess.
Did she say anything specific on the names of the guys or?
No, I think they were just two guys that no one recognized.
Okay.
So.
Did she explain why she thought they were weird, or if they did anything, or their demeanor, or?
I think like one of them was just kind of like nudging the other guy to like, oh, like are those are girls that go get him or something like that. I would say like talking to like my friend about it because she was there during that time.
So she was there while Kaylee and Maddie were there. Did she speak to Kaylee and Maddie at all?
I think she said hi, but I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is, who did you say that was?
She's not on the list yet.
Okay.
And then I think another person that would be good.
So she recommended they look at somebody who's not at the list yet, not on the list. Okay. So I know there's a lot of talk about Ashlyn Couch, that Maddie was her best friend. And so one thing I want to say very clearly is these people, Ashlyn's Couch has some family members that are quite suspicious, in my humble opinion, when it comes to the rug theory. I'll just say that. We'll talk about that another day, but let's get through this because she's about to confirm a lot.
To talk to would probably be was at the bars all night with Kaylee and Maddie.
Now, we do know that they were at the bars. They admitted that yesterday in my stream. If you don't remember the ISP 064, that was the document that the people at 1112 were indeed at the Corner Club. with Kaylee and Maddie, and they were mingling among people. And Kayla knew that they were at the bar. The two individuals were at the bar. Stay with her. Listen to what she says.
At Corner Club, I think.
And what was, sorry, I was writing that down. Who was the other gal you were talking about that was at the Corn Club with them? Okay. And I know I've already asked once, and I'm just going to reiterate and ask again. And there's, I mean, anything that you could think of, or, I mean, Kaylee not, or even any of the victims, I guess, at this point, having any issues with anybody.
I would say Kaylee was like a very, like, she was very, like, unproblematic, like, peaceful. Like, I can't imagine her having, like, I don't know, like, I can't imagine her, like, having, like, someone, like, with violent, like, tendencies, like, around her, just because I feel like she's not that type of person. If anything, like, or same thing with, like, Maddie Mogan, just because, like, I don't know, I would say, like, it might be something towards, like, Ethan and Xana, like, I don't know. Just because, like, Kaylee's, like, never mentions, like, anything to us.
And I know you said, like, all the roommates kind of hung out, stuck together pretty close. Did Ethan and Xana ever associate with people that may be violent or anything?
Like, for me, the reason why I would
I know
kind of assume is just because, like, Xana and Ethan, like, they're more, like, outgoing people. Like, they hung out with, like, different, like, friend groups.
There is what I've been talking about for a long time. Different friend groups. Was there some animosity in some of the friends? You know, Kaylee and Maddie seem to hang out with more, I want to say, a different kind of crowd than Xana and Ethan did. And I think that's very well known among us that follow this case.
Like, they didn't really stick to kind of, like, the same friend group. So, I don't know. They're just more social. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any?
Do you know if Maddie or Kaylee had, like, a boyfriend recently or an ex-boyfriend? Anyone that they were kind of seeing?
So, Kaylee, let's see. She dated this kid a couple of years. They were high school sweethearts, but is, like, a really nice person. Kaylee, last time I talked to her, a couple days ago, she was just talking about how, like, obviously once she graduated, like, she was looking for an apartment in Texas, and she met this guy, he was going to be her roommate. I don't know.
From Texas? Like,
yeah.
Already down there?
Already down there, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Were her and still together when she was mentioning that to you?
They're broken up.
All right. I'm going to play this a little slower. Here we go. We're going to get some answers.
Okay.
But I think the girls that lived on King Street, and them, her ex-boyfriend told them that Kaylee tried calling around during that time, but everything happened.
Okay. Well, during what time?
I think around 3.
3 in the morning. Yeah. Kaylee tried. Which. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
and who said that?
The girls that live at King. Yeah,
the girls that live at maybe 1112. Is that possible? Is that even possible?
Okay, so they told you that Kayla attempted to call sometime around 3 in the morning.
How does she know all this? I mean, this is alleged hearsay, but how was she privy to all this information? How? I mean, if you look at what we're saying, how would she know? And I mean, they all were talking amongst each other. This is not some, I mean, this interview took place just a few days after, 2 days after. So it's not like a lot of time has passed. But if they're talking amongst their friend group, then, I mean, they counted her as a very reliable witness.
Okay.
I heard that from. Sorry.
Okay. And then, did they ever talk?
I don't think replied because he probably thought it was some type of like, oh, like, are you type of call.
Okay.
So he didn't answer.
She knows a lot.
How did the girls know that she tried to get a hold of?
Yeah.
I think it's probably because told them, because I know.
How could anyone, okay, this is my point. How could anyone tell them that Kaylee was calling Jack Decor? How could anyone have called them at that time that this was happening and tell someone else unless they were present? Think about this. The cop is having her almost step in dog shit at this point. She realizes she's about to step in some dog shit. I'm just being real. I'm going to get a little feisty, but think of the logic here, folks. Think of the logic. Kayla is telling the cops, and they ask, how did they know if they were not there present? The only one that would know would be Jack Decor and Kaylee, and Kaylee's not with us. So who told the girls?
Replied because he probably thought it was some type of like, oh, like, are you type of call.
Like a booty call, or I need help, come over quick.
Okay. So he didn't answer.
How did the girl?
She says he didn't answer. How would she know this? How would the girls know this over at 1112? You know, the girls that left early in the morning at 3:30, the girls that people say that they see Murphy outside their house in a car, the girls that left and to go pick up the car at the corner club per ISP and bring back the guy, maybe the guy in the plaid shirt that was tippy-toeing up the stairs, breakfast with McDonald's. The girls that said they left at 10:15 but actually left at like 3:30 in the morning. The girls that the police officers may have not followed up with. You mean those girls?
Girls know that she tried to get a hold of.
I think it's probably because told them, because I know like while this whole thing was like happening for on Sunday when everyone was trying to figure out like what happened, I'm pretty sure they asked if he knew anything.
Do you think are you saying like late night call like to come over kind of
thing?
Like
yeah, like a
people.
But how would those girls know? Were those girls with Jack that night? Those girls did run in that direction. Thank you, you guys are getting it now. She runs over there several times that whole morning. Several times. They want to know what happened, and they run over to Jack's house. Why didn't they run over to the 1122 to find out what was going on? Why did they run over to Jack's house? And they're taking her word as fact and didn't follow up or follow through on these questions. And what did I tell you the other day about the alternative perpetrator theory? Anne brought that up because there was no follow-on in many of these interviews. Absolutely, it could be taken as hearsay. But when we see that it was never followed up on, and we know that Anne was pushing the alternative perpetrator theory, and now we see all this footage from 1112 and all this other suspicious activity, now we know Anne saw all this and she was pushing hard for that alternative perpetrator theory.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
How about Maddie? Did she have a boyfriend that you heard about? Or?
Yeah, so her and this guy.
Is she seriously vaping right in front of these officers? Did you guys see that? This seems so casual.
How about Maddie? Did she have a boyfriend that you heard about? Or?
Yeah, so her and this guy, we call him, I think his first name is, but he recently graduated and they're still together, or they were still together. It's been almost 2 years, I believe.
So they're still dating, like as of right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they had any problems, and he's a pretty peaceful lad.
What's he look like?
He's kind of balding. He's on the shorter side.
Like shorter than me. I'm pretty short. 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, I feel like 5'7".
I'll take that.
But yeah, brown hair, brunette, kind of skinny. I think he lives in Coeur d'Alene. Yeah.
No, I believe Jake lives in Boise. I don't know why she said Coeur d'Alene.
Okay. With the 4 roommates, were any of them closer with one another than the other, or?
Was Maddie Mogan's little.
Okay.
And that's Bethany.
And I feel like, so obviously, like, Kaylee and Maddie Mogan were probably like the closest out of like all of the roommates, but if there was anyone else, I would say Maddie Mogan and Bethany.
Okay. And you said Maddie and Kaylee were the closest?
Yeah.
And is there that lived there as well, you said?
Yeah.
She have a boyfriend?
So she has a boyfriend, which I actually knew. He lives in Boise though.
So she actually knew Dylan's boyfriend. Okay, Jack D was hungry for a Big Mac. You guys, I know you got the chat under control, but she actually knew Quinn Kelly, Dylan's boyfriend at the time.
His name's
And What kind of guy have you ever met?
Yeah.
And what is he like?
He's very hardworking. He has epilepsy, and he's really nice. I wouldn't say he's a violent person.
Okay.
She says he's not a violent person.
Were you aware of any sort of issues between roommates? No.
No. They all got along pretty well from what I heard from Kayla.
Okay. Were there any, I know they don't, I mean, have to be specifically dating. Were there any males that Kaylee would hang out with pretty often, or any pretty close guy friends that she would hang out pretty often or have come over or anything like that?
Let's see. I think she was talking to this guy for a little bit. He's here.
He's a blank here. Okay, this is the point where I say, whoa, he's a blank here. Yeah, a blank here that after Kaylee passes, yeah, they muted the name, but he's a blank here. If you're sitting with someone across the table, here means in here. Look at the badge right behind her. That is here. Okay? The little badge behind her is the police department. Here.
I think she was talking to this guy for a little bit. He's here.
He's a blank here. He's a police officer here. She sure knows a lot, but she's very hesitant about what she says. I think this is probably some truth to this matter, that yes, she may have been talking to Rosendahl. And don't you think it just a little odd that Kaylee passes and Rosendahl disappears? He vanishes. Does anybody else find that a little odd or make you say, whoa, what is going on here? This is all speculation other than what we have witnessed, the facts. Has anybody ever thought of this before? Has anybody ever said, whoa, how does a police officer just vanish out of thin air, no trace on the internet that has been there before, and then all this happens after Kaylee's passing? I mean, you got to ask yourself, why the loose ends? And yes, for a fact, what someone asked earlier, yes, they did do the Today Show. Yes, here is Ashlyn Couch's mother, and Karen Laramie was Maddie Mogen's mother. Now, I don't know if she said they hooked up, but they said he's not married. He's not a married guy. He moved back to be closer to his family, from what I understand. But how odd is it that the whole entire time, all these rumors were she was dating a married man and they thought it was Yelk, and she was doing this and doing that, and she was a whatever. And if they were both single, who cares if they dated or went out or hooked up or whatever you want to call it nowadays? Who gives a flying frick? But I just find it odd that as Kaylee passes on, this guy vanishes from the face of this earth. Where did he go? I've often wondered where he went. If anyone sees him or hears of him, let me know. I am very curious. Maybe he fell in the portal of hell out there in Moscow. Yes, in my Lucy voice, they've got some explaining to do. Not Ricky. I like Lucy. But thank you so much for joining us today. I'm sure we're going to have another whoa moment because I'm working on two things right now. Murphy, where was Murphy at 4:45 in the morning? You guys are going to love that one. Remember you said Murphy's going to solve this case? Murphy just may solve this case. He may solve this case. So everyone give my mod some love. Be well. Enjoy the day. And we'll be back here tomorrow at 11:15. Y'all enjoy yourselves today.
Can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. We turn the pages, breaking all the locks. This is a true crime, resetting all the clocks. From the ashes of silence, a new day is born. For every lost soul, a promise is sworn. The blindfold is lifting, steady and slow. A garden of justice is starting to grow. Shift to arise, pure justice. The Lady Justice.